Hi friends, thanks for joining me. So we all have this mat for our ScanNCut that Brother does a really good job creating it, and it's wonderful to have it. However, it gets unsticky really fast. And you can tape your items down, but that starts to get old, especially whenever your tape sometimes is bigger than the piece of material you want to cut on. So I've been, kind of racking my brain. I know that you can use Zig glue, and I haven't done it yet, and it's only because I've been lazy and haven't ordered it, and I probably should just for tutorial purposes. But I thought about what if we somehow glued a piece of clear contact paper onto the mat, and that way we could have the sticky part of the contact paper, because I use clear contact paper for tape. I use it for transfer tape. I use it to make notes on the wall with Sharpies so that I can take it off. I use it for everything, so I always have it around. And I thought, what if we could take a piece? My original plan was to take a piece, have this sticky part over on that part, and then glue a piece to that. But then I thought, you know what, this mat is just going to go in the garbage because I can't get it to stick again, right? So why not try the rubber cement? So this is the stuff I used. Sorry if it's hard to see. It's called Elmer's Craft Bond Rubber Cement. No wrinkle, acid-free, easy to use brush. The cure time, it says, is 30 minutes, but I let it cure for an hour just to be safe. It is rubber cement, so whatever stuff gets on the outside here, you can just rub it off, or you can take alcohol and wipe it off. I used Simple Green and cleaned around it, and it seemed to do just fine, but I feel a little bit of residue here and there. I think the alcohol would probably clean it up just fine, but it recognized the mat just perfectly. And these are the things that I was able to cut. So I used contact paper, like old contact paper that I found at the thrift store. I used contact paper to create this one that says Memories. This is a design that's already on the machine, but I wanted to see if an intricate design would be good all the way across, and it did good. It kiss cut it, which means that it didn't cut through the paper backing. It only cut the top part. I did a basic star at first just to see, and again, it didn't go through the backing, and also the backing didn't stick to this. So it has a much different feel than the ScanNCut glue, but it's really cool. Felt was a no-go. It's not strong enough to hold the shifting. So it'll go down to cut it, but it'll move it as it's cutting it. So it was a no-go for me with this. I haven't even tried felt on a regular mat though. I don't know. And then I cut a little picture. This is just not photo paper. It's photo paper. It's the stuff from the photographer, and it cut really nicely. Fujifilm photo paper. Oh, I guess it is photo paper. So that is just an oval from the machine. Let's see. And with everything, do your test cuts. See? So you know. What else did we cut? Oh, I drew onto regular copy paper and cut this out. It curled most of the pieces, so I know this is a weird looking thing. I was just drawing a random thing to try to see if this would work. So we'll call it a shoe. The shoe is kind of curly. When I pulled it off of it, it curled all the paper. So if you're going for a curled effect, this might not be such a bad thing. And if you just need to cut a couple things out or cut smaller things out, you can do copy paper with the contact paper. So that was really cool. I went ahead and cut out the bib that I'm going to be using for my video with the baby's booty. This is a template that she sent me, and I copied it to digitize it, but I also wanted to cut it out. So I went ahead and cut it out. This is cardstock, so you can cut cardstock on here really nicely with this, and it doesn't leave residue on here. It doesn't take part of your paper. I was able to cut fabric without having to sandwich it between freezer paper. That I'm really excited about. This is just regular cotton from a piece of a fat quarter. So this is a design that's on the machine. Got this little guy right here. He's so cute. I know I should have ironed it, but I was so excited to see if this would work, and it did. Here's a piece of fabric that already had the can't think of what it's called right now for the life of me. The applique vinyl. I can see the pink package in my brain, but it had the stuff that you iron on the back of it to make it sturdier for applique. That's already on here, and it cut really nicely. I accidentally put the design over my test cut, but it did really, really, really wonderful. So I'm really excited. I'm mostly excited to be able to cut fabric again. And when you're done, you can just put the backing, what did I do with it? The backing that you cut off back onto it. Use this thing, okay? Or you can use the cover that came with your ScanNCut mat. I had them. I saw them just the other day, the two that go with these two, and I have no idea where I placed those at this point. So now, with all that being said, I'm going to do this, but it is going to all be in fast forward, so you don't have to sit through it. Let me clean up all of this stuff. Be right back. Okay, so for this part, you're going to want your mat. And we're going to set this over here. You're going to take this piece and you're just going to cut out the part on your mat. And then we're going to put it over here, and we're going to put contact paper on this, or contact glue on the contact paper, and then contact glue on our mat. Okay? So I wish I could zoom out so you guys could see it a little bit better. So take it corner to corner and cut out the exact square. Oops. It's going to be a little bit small, but that's okay because our ScanNCut, we can always put our mat in. Oh no, it's going to be perfect. What was I thinking? Okay. But if you do cut it too small and you're too lazy to recut it, like I was about to be, don't worry, because you can scan in your material every single time. Make sure that it doesn't go off into this area. The curse of all of this is the stupid weight of it, or the curls. See how it curls up? The curling is so annoying. But it is what it is. So first we're going to do the contact paper on this, or the contact cement on this, and then we're going to do the contact cement one big square at a time on the mat. Then we're going to put them together. And that's the part that I absolutely loathe. Okay. I have to put down my edges because this stuff is very, very curly. Okay, now I'm going to put you guys in fast forward. Okay, friends, this is where it gets challenging. We have to put them face to face, and this contact paper is very curly. So you have to kind of bend it inward as best you can. And let's try to get it in this little corner so you can see. Do your very best. It's not repositional. So see how that part misses it? It's just how it is now. Okay, so you can see that little bit on the side it didn't get. That's okay. You just won't put anything there. Nothing will stick there, so that's how you'll know. Okay, so now it's on here. Take a brayer, take a scraper, take something, anything. Go ahead and squeeze it out. Don't worry about the rubber cement getting on anything. It literally just turns to plasticky rubber when it's not connected with something else with plasticky rubber. Okay, so squeeze it all out. Flatten this as much as possible. Okay, so you'll see how on the end I have some goops. Don't worry about those because they're going to dry up and then you'll be able to roll them off really easy, okay? So right now you mostly just want to make this as flat as possible. And then whenever it's all done, you're just going to peel this backing off and you're going to have a sticky mat again. Okay, so I'm going to be back in a little bit to cut stuff in 1 hour, but not an hour for you. It'll be just a couple seconds for you. But I'll be back once this has cured for 1 hour. The glue does say 30 minutes, but I think an hour just feels best for me. Do what works best for you. But I'm going to take this off and we're going to bring the ScanNCut machine in and we're going to try to cut some more stuff so we can see how it goes. Alright, see you guys. Bye-bye. I mean, not bye-bye. I don't know why I said that. See you in a minute. Hi friends, thanks for joining me again. I know I said just a couple minutes for you, but it's been over an hour for me, so it feels like you're joining me again. Alright, so it's been over an hour. I let this thing sit. You can see that this is what the glue looks like. Let's see. I hope that that's clear enough. So it just pills up into a little ball. You can take a dry rag and just do this all around the edges to get the bigger chunks off and to get anything off of the backing. I mean, you don't really have to, but just kind of clear it out. You'll have a bunch of little boogers. That's what they look like. They look like little boogers. Okay, and then I'm just using simple green, but I think that you could probably use any safe cleaner, whatever kind of spray cleaner you have that you think might work. I'm not an expert. This is just something that I had dreamed up, and I think that it's really fun because for those of you who can't do anything because you're out of business, this will get you back in business. And this might work with the other transfer tapes. I just use contact paper because it's cheap. Okay, so the edges are all cleared off. Let's go over it again. The one that doesn't have anything on it, to kind of dry it all off and get all that extra off of the sides. Okay, so what we're mostly worried about is this area right here, along where this the ruler is. That's where your rollers are, and you don't want any gunk where the rollers are. Okay, so here's the telltale. Oh, that peeled off everything, so let's not use that part. We just want the top, which is the back realistically. Okay. Okay, so it is taken off. This is sticky. It's not coming off in any places. It might come off on that edge, but nope, it's not even coming off on that edge. So it's totally flexible. totally sticky. It's so fun. And it's flat. It's flat. It's not chunky anywhere. There's no chunkies. So last time whenever I did this, the fabric had to be pushed up to like 1, but cutting the this stuff, contact paper, it did really well. So see, it's on nice and good, and it peels off. If you get a good enough hold, peels off nice and easy too. So like with your regular mat, don't yank it off, but it peels off really nice and easy. So let's go ahead and hook up the machine and get something cut out of this, and then we're going to cut some fabric without having to put it between freezer paper. So I'm really excited. Usually with our mats, even the brand new mats, you still have to use the freezer paper method. Okay, so that's really kind of unnecessary, but I need to go get my machine. Be right back. Okay, so now you can see it. It's on right in front of you. Let's go ahead and turn that on. Oops. My machine makes that noise because I dropped it once, and now the little door part's all weird. So there's a screen. We're going to choose the home button. It's going to do a little zzz. Let's choose a pattern. Let's choose a cute. No, I don't want anything I have to do a lot of weeding on. So let's do a cloud actually. Choose OK. OK. Set. And this is visual representation of our mat. I don't know how well you can see that. And what we're going to do, because we have the thing in there, we know where it goes kind of, you know, 1 inch down, 3 over, based on where we have it on here. And we're going to go ahead and put this into the machine. My tripod's in the way. I got a tripod for my tripod, and now that's in the way, so someday we'll work this filming out, right? All right, so now we're going to scan in this material. Okay, and so that's awesome because it did put it right where we want it. I'm going to move mine over a little bit and down. I want to do a test cut here, and I want to only be able to lift up that little bottom. So let's choose add, not choose OK, because we're going to pattern, test, choose a test cut, choose set. Okay. And I already know that my blade is too tall from the last thing I was cutting. So I'm going to go ahead. So right now it's on 2.5. We're going to bring it down to even lower than 1. Okay, 1 is even too high for this thin of contact paper. Okay. My pressure is down to 1. I'll choose OK. And it will only cut out the test cut. Okay. So to check your test cut, you just pick that up. It is a little too deep for me still. But this is so sticky, you can just put that right back on there. I did get a new mat, and my next video is going to be unboxing that. It's an Amazon purchase. But this idea came at the same time, so. Okay, so we did our test cut, then I dialed it down a little, and I didn't do another test cut, so I'm hoping that it still worked. So just like your regular mat, just take it off nice and easy. It's really sticky. It's cool. It's so exciting. And then there's our little cloud. So here's the backing. You can see on the backing of this, it didn't cut through. It didn't steal any of the backing. It didn't try to leave anything. Did a really nice job cutting, as this machine usually does. So that's really cool. Now let's do some fabric. And the fabric will be up by 3. Like 2.5, 3 is where I usually have to have my blade for fabric. The cool thing is I usually have to do the freezer paper method, where you put freezer paper on each side and then you iron it on there. And that's just such a pain in the butt. And I have not successfully cut fabric using just my regular mat. But this seems to work awesome. And I got these scrapers at Harbor Freight. Okay. There's a little air bubble down there. There we go. Yeah, now my hand is stuck. Okay, can you see it okay? Sorry. Okay, now you can see it again. Let's just go all the way to the back. We'll go to pattern. Let's just work on our test cuts to begin with before we set anything. Just go straight into the test cut. Scan in our background. Beautiful. Oops. Okay. So hopefully you can see the screen. We're going to bring this all the way over here so it's easy for me on this side. Actually, I'm going to put it up on the top so it's easy to squeegee back down. Okay. I'm going to choose OK and cut. Then going to move this back up by 3. So 2.5. Put that in there and choose start. Oops. Well, it moved it around and that wasn't supposed to happen. But it's also not the end of the world because that's where you're doing your test cut. Oh, it's probably still blurry again. So if the blade depth is right, it shouldn't move your fabric. And so I bumped it up to 3. It still held a little bit of it on there. So I'm just going to go a little bit higher. Do another test cut. So it will eventually lose its sticky too. So you just got to keep doing it. Take off this one and put on a new one, or do the zig glue method or whatever. This is just a temporary method to get you by until you can get a new ScanNCut mat. Aww. No. I'm sorry for including this in the video, but at the same time not sorry, because I've learned that my mistakes help you guys. I mean, it helps me to make mistakes because I learn, but I know sometimes it makes the videos way longer than we want. Okay, this is at 3.5 exactly in between. I didn't have this kind of issue when I was cutting before. You saw the little dolphin I did. Okay, so there we go. We finally got a piece that looks good. It did not also cut through the back and didn't push the paper around. So 3.5 for me. I would go ahead for you and start low and do test cuts like this. With the fabric on the edges, press it versus squeegeeing it. In the middle you can squeegee it. On the edges it needs more to be pressed. Okay. Okay, so you can leave now or you can hang on while I do this. I'm gonna cut out some more of those. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Those cute little dolphins. Okay, okay. Set. Oops, we don't really need that guy anymore. Okay, let's see how it goes. I think I cut a little close to the edge. Dang it. Okay, well, we saw what happened there. So it got really close to the edge here, and on the edges this just doesn't have enough hole, or enough sticky to it. So I went ahead and pulled it, and it kind of did it here, but it looks like this one got it for the most part. Maybe I could have had my blade even a little bit more. I could have even went farther with it. So this is still better than I would have done if I would have done it myself, to be completely honest with you. Especially that hole in the middle. I'm not very good at cutting out my own circles. So there's that cute guy. He matches the other one that I did. And then this one we already know is going to be messed up. Except we have ourselves some cute little dots now. However, there's no residue on the mat. So that guy's going to need to be cut out by hand now. So I learned a lesson, cut in the middle. But in any case, it's so exciting. You know what? Let's go grab a piece. Since we're here, let's go grab a piece of fabric that already has the heat and bond light on it. So the heat and bond light is the stuff you iron onto the back of it to make it sturdier for cutting, and also really good for applique. So let's just press that on there. See how well we'll do here. Oh, there's some glitter in all of this. This is really fun to me because I already had all this stuff. And let's start over. I'm getting so excited. So getting ahead of myself. Okay, pattern. Let's just do a cute flower. Okay. Take the design and make it little. See how it does with the tiny cuts. I wouldn't trust doing tiny cuts without doing the freezer paper method, because the freezer paper method makes it sturdy. Makes it like you're cutting cardstock. So let's see how this goes, not changing the blade setting or anything. See how this goes on the piece with heat and bond already on it. Okay, so let's peel the fabric off, peel it off. Oh, it's so cool. So you can see the shiny side, that's the heat and bond. You just iron that onto your fabric and it makes it more sturdy for cutting applique as well as for sewing your applique onto your projects. Oh, it's so cute. Look, I'll never have the patience to actually sew that, all the tiny little parts onto something, but maybe we could glue it onto something. I don't know, but I'm pretty excited about this. Oh, if you can't tell. So that's just contact cement and a piece of clear contact paper. And you got your sticky again. So I hope this helped. I'll see you guys later. Bye.